Torvald, Prosh, Vivictus, Zeatora, Xira? Does this queen bee have what it takes to take out the dragons of Jund? Let's find out. My favorite deck theme? Aristocrats. Of course. What's better than being able to drain out the table without the need for attacking? Sack your own creatures, force your opponents to sack theirs, drain the table for each one that dies. It's just a blast. So much fun. So of course, when I saw this commander, and it's in Jund, this is something that I definitely want to build around. Xira the Golden Sting. Xira the Golden Sting costs 1 and Jund for a 3/3 insect assassin with flying and haste. She also has, whenever Xira the Golden Sting attacks, put an egg counter on target creature without an egg counter on it. When that creature dies, draw a card and create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. So let me get this straight. I kill one of my creatures that has an egg counter on it. I get to draw a card, make another creature. And then if I find a way to attack with Xira again on the next turn, or maybe with, I don't know, extra combats, I get to do that again. This commander is awesome. So much fun. So let's get into that deck build. Let's kick this off with some card draw. Azra Oddsmaker. This is a bit of a unique card, but I get to cast my commander who has haste. With Azra on the battlefield, I discard a card at the start of my combat. I swing in, smack with Xira, and get to draw 2 cards. Azra is super underplayed in our format. If you have a commander with some sort of evasion and haste, you need to be playing this card. Next, Generous Patron. So I attack, I throw a counter on one of my opponent's creatures, and just for doing that, I get to draw a card? Yeah, this is going in the deck. Next, Morbid Opportunist. This even triggers for our opponent's creature. Of course we're gonna run Torvald in this deck. I talked about him at the very beginning. Why wouldn't I mention him again? Let's be serious with the next one. Skull Clamp. What's an Aristocrats deck without it? And next up, typical Aristocrat style, we're gonna run Reprocess, my all-time favorite card, Plumb the Forbidden, and Body Count. What would this deck be without those? We're gonna draw so many cards. Next up, Extra Combats. Let's kick this thing off with Breath of Fury. I know we already skipped past the card draw stage, but with this card, a couple of creatures, and a haste enabler, you can literally draw out your entire deck, as long as you have somebody to swing it. Then we have Combat Celebrant. Exert him as you attack, and then use Xira's trigger to put an egg counter on it. This way, if somebody does decide to block, you get to draw a card and make an insect. Let's play Aggravated Assault so that we can keep activating it on each of our turns and keep re-triggering Xira's ability. This is Jund. We're playing green. We're gonna be throwing as many lands as we can onto the battlefield. Why wouldn't we run Morag? You know what? Why don't we just get rid of these 2 cards and play Fury of the Horde for free? Next up, Life Drainers. Remember those dragons I mentioned at the beginning? Yep, we're gonna play another. Zeatora. I did say this was Aristocrats, right? Let's play Agent of the Iron Throne, Blood Artist, Bastion of Remembrance, Meat Hook Massacre, Vindictive Vampire, Falconwrath Noble. We'll play them all. Thanks to Xira's ability, we're gonna have so many creatures entering the battlefield. So let's take advantage of that. Let's play Witty Roastmaster, Perforos, and Impact Tremors. Next up, Recurring Creatures. Whenever you're running an Aristocrats build, you always wanna make sure you have creatures to sacrifice. And one of the best ways to do that are to bring back the creatures that you already sacrificed. So let's kick this one off with Murderous Redcap. Thanks to that persist ability, we can have it come back from the graveyard and deal damage to any target. You know what's a really good Aristocrats card for a Jund deck? Riveteer's Ascendancy. Sack a creature, bring another one back? Yep, I'm gonna say this one fits. Some more fun recurring creatures? Nether Trader, Reoccurring Skeleton, Persistent Specimen, and Squee. You know what's always a lot of fun? Making things trigger twice. Xira has an ability that triggers anytime she attacks, so let's play Wolfgar. You know what else can make Xira's attack trigger happen again? Helm of the Host. Let's play that. Of course, we can't talk about copying triggered abilities without talking about Strionic Resonator and Lethal Form Engine. Next up, let's talk about a couple of unique effects. First up, we have Kolrath Knight. Let's use Xira to throw counters on our opponent's creatures, and then they can't attack or block. Last up, Radiant Performer. This card was made for this deck. We can copy Xira's ability for every single creature on the battlefield, and then do a board wipe. Clear them all out, make a ton of insects, and just wreck house the following turn. Overall, Queen Bee looks insanely fun. Definitely going to be a new go-to Jund commander. She even fits incredible in the 99 of some of the best Jund decks. Play this card, it's going to be a blast. Just like I think you're gonna have a blast with this Joda video right here. Check it out.